Hello all, and welcome to the zoo.
Why am I here?
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late-night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Rejekt PPC and the one-ton hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Rejekt.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the TheLuckyPoptart.
Inquisitor. Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen their mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the zoo. I am your Zookeeper for tonight, Inquisitor. Minion joining me is Megato.
Hey guys.
And traveling exhibit Hate Camel.
Hi everybody.
Adam and Sora-Luna are supposed to be joining us shortly, hopefully. I will be doing some priming, as you can tell, with a stark white frame here. I've got some priming still left to do. So I'm going to mute my microphone because I don't want you guys to be in the wind tunnel with me for while I'm doing that. So talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Have I ever met you, Hate Camel?
I don't know. I was just going to see how long I can keep the awkward silence going. I don't think we've ever been on stream together before, no. Hey, Sora. I don't know if you know this, but you're muted. And Mr. Yes is in chat. He's dropping John Malkovich knowledge.
Hello, sorry for the delay. I will be staying muted. I'm still cooking the dog's food.
You cook your dog's food?
Yeah.
Well, I better not let my dogs hear that.
Sometimes they get raw, but this is not. This is a couple days old meat, so this gets cooked.
Oh, I feed mine dry dog food. If they knew that there was the possibility of them getting their own meals cooked, like prepared, I'd have to start sleeping with one eye open because I'm not putting in that kind of effort. And Rottweiler's just sitting here looking at me like, "What's going on?" Yeah, you don't need to know, dude. Surprisingly enough, Mr. Yes didn't put anything in chat about John Malkovich's performance in being John Malkovich. I mean, that should be like a headline. That's how you know you made it as an actor, when they make a movie about you being you.
I've
Nobody
never
wants to know
actually
what's going on.
seen that one.
It's a weird movie. Was it Spike Jonze directed that?
I really like him. He's really fun as an actor. He's a very good actor, but I've never seen being John Malkovich.
It's got him, which he's a side character in the movie, which is funny. It's got him, Cameron Diaz, John Cusack. Who else was in that? Anybody of note?
That's like a 2000s film, isn't it? It's like older.
Yeah. I think early 2000s, late 90s, maybe. No, I'd have to look at IMDb. But yeah, the only thing I remember about that movie, like behind the scenes wise, is there's a scene where somebody throws a bottle at John Malkovich while he's like walking down the interstate, and I can't remember what they said, but they end up getting I think they got their SAG card off of that. Like they got a credit for that ad lib. It was just some extras who were drunk on set, and they didn't realize it was filming right then, so somebody chucked a bottle at John Malkovich.
Oh, that's one way to still keep your job and get a credit.
I think it got left in because Spike Jonze thought it was funny. So
Yeah, I was way.
yeah, 1989. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was definitely way too young to watch that.
Oh, I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it years later. But what was the premise of that again? John Cusack's like a puppeteer. You know, he does like marionette shows and whatnot. And he's married, I think, to Cameron Diaz. He finds a doorway into like John Malkovich's mind. Like you take control of John Malkovich's body.
That's a drug dream movie.
Yeah. Puppeteer Craig Schwartz and animal lover and pet store clerk Lottie Schwartz are just going through the motions of their marriage.
Oh.
Despite not being able to earn a living solely through puppeteering, Craig loves his profession as it allows him to inhabit the skin of others. He begins to take the ability to inhabit the skin of others to the next level when he is forced to take a job as a file clerk for the off-kilter Lester Corp, located on the 5 foot tall, 7.5 floor of a Manhattan office building. That's where he finds the doorway into the mind of John Malkovich.
Oh.
More like this adaptation, Fear and Loathing Las Vegas. Two of these are the ones I've never even heard of. Schenectady, New York? Is that supposed to be Schenectady?
Synecdoche.
Synecdoche. Okay, whatever. Never heard of that movie. It's got a 7.6 on IMDb.
It's like Sideways adaptation, like you mentioned, Captain Corelli's Mandolin, sort of. It's one of these movies that are kind of, to me, they scream festival bait, without being too artsy. They're still like enough mainstream to get enough people in the seats. Yeah. While also being artistic.
I saw one of those really artsy movies recently. It was I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
Okay. What was that about? Was it about like as the title suggests?
In a way it was, but it was really about like this janitor and him observing, I guess, kids go throughout the school, like marital issues. It was kind of deep in a lot of different ways, but yeah, it's on Netflix if you want to check it out. But
okay,
it reminded me a lot of Synecdoche, New York.
one of my favorite festival films that just stayed in the festival circuit. I would have still been in high school when I saw it, so I'm like early 2000s sometimes. I think it was it's either like due date or expiration date or best buy date or something like that. And it was I remember it being quite funny. So the main character is approaching his 30s, like some age in his 30, and all the men in his family, and he's First Nations. It's in the States, but he's Native American heritage, and all the men in his family die at like, well, say 36. At age 36 they die somehow, some way. No matter how hard they try, they all die. And his birthday is coming up, so the whole movie is him basically having this huge panic attack and trying to avoid death.
So,
and
Sora, are you saying you really enjoyed this movie, or are you just telling me this because you know I'm 32?
I didn't know you were turning 32. It was a funny movie. It's a good movie. It's a happy ending. It's just like it's not even bittersweet. It's bittersweet because there's death from his father and his grandfather, but like the actual movie is quite funny. From what I remember it, but it's one of those movies I couldn't find it after that because it was just shown in the theaters during the. We had a mom and pop theater like 2 minutes from my house, so I used to watch a lot of films there, and it was a part of the circuit, the festival circuit, and it was like cheap movies. We're talking about $4 for kids, and you can watch, and then on the weekends for like $6-7 you watch the double feature.
Speaking of turning a certain age and getting a certain movie, my mother got me Logan's Run when I turned 30.
I still haven't seen that.
You've not seen? Oh wow! All right. The whole core premise behind Logan's Run is that it's like this post-apocalyptic, but like not quite, where people are living in these domes, but like no one can live past 30. After 30, you have to go into what's called the carousel, and it's kill yourself place. And the main character turns 30 and has to run away. When people try to run away from their obligations to kill yourself, they're called runners. And then you've got the judges that hunt down the runners and try to kill them. So.
Okay.
It's an interesting movie. I really like it.
Well, I mean, if the dude ran away and like he's not in the dome anymore, right?
Can't survive though. Oh, and it's Michael York who's like the main character, and he's such a good actor.
Mm-hmm. Farrah Fawcett's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's not too loud, is it, guys?
No, not.
If you hear humming, sorry, I'm in the fridge.
Oh no.
Oh, that's you?
No, that's me. It's that's my airbrush. I'm cleaning my airbrush.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind it. I have you guys turned a bit low though, so I can hear the cooking.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to clean this thing out here. I was priming a whole bunch of stuff, trying to get it all done before we went live, and I did kind of. I just had a little bit of paint left in the airbrush, and I had to finish it out, and now I've got to clean it. Because you can't let this shit sit. If you do, you might get a goopy airbrush, and then you got to get a new airbrush.
I've always wanted to get like a makeup airbrush set, but they were always so expensive. And then when I looked into about the maintenance of them, I was like, yeah, no. I don't think I'll have the patience and discipline to keep it, to constantly clean it like you need to, because it's hey.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
Is Mickey trying to get food early?
Yes, he's hungry.
Aww. Yeah,
it's almost done. I have to make sure it's cooked thoroughly because this isn't fresh. So I don't want them to get tummy problems.
Well, it's nice that you're, cooking a meal for them. I usually just give Jake dog food. I treat him every now and then, give him a portion of whatever I'm eating. But
they always get so they have kibbles for like vitamins and minerals and stuff that they'll need.
Yeah.
They get some kibbles, but then for the actual main protein source, they'll get. Like right now, I'm making turkey mince for them, but they also get. They love chicken hearts, chicken liver. They'll get maybe we'll make some soup, and they'll get part of the like bone marrow from the soup bones, boiled beef and chicken. They love whatever, really.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Well, my stepdad. So from when we got Leo, our first dog, way back when, for him, he grew up always. Kibbles weren't a thing, so they would always like cook for the dogs, or the dogs would get whatever, like sort of like pigs.
Yeah.
They would just get everything that's left over.
Mm-hmm.
So we continued on. We tried with Sir. No. His sister is in the area, so he's telling her to go fuck off. So yeah, so because of that, we've always gotten used to cooking for them.
Okay.
Yeah. They're good dogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're okay with just kibbles and stuff, because if they need to go for kennels, like if we're away, they eat it just fine. We'll give them like hot dogs for supplemental, but yeah.
I don't dare give Jake hot dogs.
Too sensitive stomach?
Yeah. Hot dog farts are real, and they stink real bad.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, a hot dog's really just, the leftover parts that Chinese couldn't turn into a belt, so. But yeah, I feed my dogs kibble, and if there's any table scraps left over, let them clean the plates. But that's really about it. I have a hard enough time if the girlfriend and I are making something at the stove with them, trying to nose in, like, hey, what you doing? But
right.
I don't want to actually cook food for them too.
Like I said, every now and then I'll give Jake some of whatever I'm eating. But like, I'm not gonna make a whole meal for him. You know what I mean? And I see Adam joined us. How's it going, man?
Hi, Adam.
How's everybody?
I'm doing okay. Just putting up the airbrush, finishing up that, and then going on to paint. Actual paint. I had to get some priming done. I had a bunch of new models I bought, so.
Very nice.
Did you finish all your old ones?
No. What are you, my mom? Hey, Camel?
I'm just wondering at what point we need to stage the intervention.
Well, that's like me and my patterns. I've been buying like cross stitch patterns on Etsy, and my mom said exactly what Camel just said. So, have you made any of the ones you've already bought? No.
No. Shut up, Mom.
See, I actually got that from my dad and my stepmother, because like my mom's side of the family, it's a bunch of hoarders, and my dad and his wife are like, if you haven't used it in 6 months, you need to decide if you're going to keep it or throw it away. Give it to Goodwill, but if you haven't used it in however long, it needs to go.
Yeah, here's the most important piece of of an airbrush here. It's the needle. So this is the thing you gotta make sure is cleaned.
My mom is the same way. My dad thinks similarly. You you're not using it, get rid of it. But my mom will hoard stuff and stash it away, and even if she never sees it again, she'll just to have it. I kind of take on that, but a lot of the stuff that I need to hold on to, like right now, if I look in my storage unit, the stuff that was in my apartment prior to leaving, it's all collectibles. I mean, it's old video games, old Nintendo Power magazines, like shit that, well, yeah, I don't need it, I guess, and I could get rid of it, but I mean, I don't know, it just seems that's the stuff I like, I enjoy. It'd be like telling a Star Wars action figure collector to get rid of all their action figures. It's like, but I enjoy covering my wall with packaged Star Wars figures, and it's like, that's what they do.
Well, it's a hobby, and don't let anyone tell you that your hobby ain't worth it. I do more than just Warhammer. I collect retro games.
Well, I mean,
too,
I mean, at this point too, especially when I had them all set up, and not in boxes, but there would be a lot of times where it's like, all right, I want to play something, and I would just look at the title and just think of the game in my head and be like, I guess I'm done playing that one right now, and just go to the next one.
Well, the funny thing with me is, like, I've kind of got a blended perspective when it comes to the hoarding versus throwing stuff away. It's like, I won't necessarily throw it away, but I want to keep it somewhere, in an organized fashion.
Invisible. Oh, hi, Jake. I think Jake is saying that he wants some too, Sora. So you're cooking some for him too, right?
Gonna have to overnight some of that turkey mint, Sora.
Yeah, right. Jake wants some so bad. I don't know why you're coming in here barking at me, dude. You've already eaten, and I'm not eating anything. I'm fucking cleaning.
So did anybody check out the clownfish video about He-Man?
I really don't have any interest in He-Man. Like, it was before my time growing up. So hearing about them doing a remake in this day and age is like, I knew it was going to be shit before the trailer even came out.
Well, the whole thing was just a massive bait and switch. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, but
and I can totally understand, like, fan reactions, being negative towards it because of that.
Well, because I was watching it this morning, and it was kind of funny because it was like, well, I even wrote in the comment there. I'm like, I don't know why anybody's surprised anymore. I mean, this is the script that all of these Hollywood people are doing nowadays. They have to go this route for some reason or another, even though they know that the audience doesn't want it. So yeah, and at this point they're straight comfortable lying to your face, telling you it's one thing but it's going to be another. But I mean, essentially it's Sheila's girlfriend gets the power and she becomes a sorceress or some shit. At least that's what they're placing bets on, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's part of the reason why I don't give my grandmother any grief about her hoarding. It's like, she's got a ton of physical media. It's like, that's probably what the what's that conspiracy theory that's going around? Like, that's why they're doing all these remakes and shit, is so they can shelve they can vault the originals.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start, because I think they still sell some of the original products, like at least the DVDs, Blu-rays and stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they stop that. But no, I wrote in the comment, I'm like, you shouldn't be surprised at this age, but wait till you see what they do to Ghostbusters. And I'm still confused as to, because then I jumped into Nerdotic's live stream, and he was gushing about it, and I made the same comment, like, I don't think you guys understand that this is going to disappoint a lot of people with the way that you're going it.
As far as I'm concerned, there are only 2 Ghostbuster movies. Just like, I said as a kid, like, there's only 3 Star Wars movies. There's, just
Well, yeah. But I made the comments in there, and there were some people who were like, yeah, it's gonna be bad. But then there's people who kept saying like, I don't know, I get Ghostbusters vibes from the trailer, and I'm sitting there watching the trailer over and over again. I'm like, I see Stranger Things, I see the Goonies, I don't see Ghostbusters anywhere there. Like there's because they had Ecto 1, because they had the proton, like that makes no sense. And then just because I was working it through, and I'm like, there is no way that they're gonna be able to get the way that they worded it in the trailer. I don't see like it sounds to me like Egon's gonna either not know he had kids, or he abandoned them right early at their life, because Janine was explaining to the mom that he was not a good housekeeper. Like the mom should know that. Growing up with Egon, why would Janine need to be explaining to Egon's daughter about that? Just makes no sense to me. I just, and then again, like I said, it just screams Stranger Things, monkeying around in the mines with flashlights and seeing ghosts and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, there's gonna be a lot of hurt people.
Well, to be fair, I would take Stranger Things over Melissa McCarthy farting.
Wasn't one of the characters in the 2016 one called Phoebe? I think. I don't recall.
I never watched it, so I have no idea what the characters' names were.
I really wanted to see it, and then more trailers came out, and first reviews came out, and it was just sad, so I never saw it.
I mean, I saw it a few times.
I'm sorry.
I love.
Yep, but
I do love what's his face, Chris Hemsworth. Thank you. And he does like himbo so well, and he's so cute when he does that. Like that's why I would watch it 100%.
He did seem like he was having a good time at that part.
Yeah, when he has fun, even if it's I love when actors may probably know they're in a bad movie or everything's schlock, but they're having a really good time. It comes across, and hopefully he did.
Well, see, this is the thing with this current Ghostbusters is I don't think people are recognizing like the little woke flags that are popping up. I mean, the first line in the trailer is, "You're a great mom," and then where's the dad?
Oh.
We already know that it's a single mom. She probably taught the boy how to fix up cars because of course she did. And then Phoebe's you see her like uncovering the puzzles in Egon's farmhouse. Like why would he hide it? Why would he not tell his family about this shit? And then you could just tell that Phoebe's gonna figure the little group of kids are gonna figure shit out like in the Goonies. Paul Rudd's gonna be the keymaster and the mom's gonna be the gatekeeper or some shit. And it's Gozer again, and Phoebe's gonna get all the equipment up and running, and then they're gonna call the Ghostbusters in at the last minute to give you guys seem to know what you're doing with the equipment, so why don't you guys go ahead and take it over, as opposed to like easily just been. She really was she like in the beginning of the trailer when they're talking about how Phoebe's just a geeky nerd, and it's like, dude, you could have easily just been like, she was sad when her grandpa passed away and she was really into the technology and the science and ghosts, and now all the people think she's weird because she likes ghosts and shit. Like, that's all you had to do.
No, that's actually very good. And somehow say that this was her special time with her grandfather was building things, making stuff. He's the one who taught her about all these sort of things, and she starts playing in that world again because she needs to connect with the memory because she's taking his passing heart or something. That would be so nice. That's such a nice. I always like that in movies.
But you cannot have that in today's Hollywood now. That's what I was trying. That's why I'm like, like, they could have done this. They wrote a script, a bunch of them, where they were handing down the torch and teaching the new group. The video game was pretty much like that, where you're training a guy who's going to go open a franchise. So it's like, or you're playing as the guy who's going to open a franchise. It could have very easily been done, but you cannot do these things anymore. Like, she couldn't be infatuated with her grandfather and his work in Ghost in the spirit field, she has to stumble upon it, and then she's gonna be a Mary Sue. She's gonna figure all this shit out, which it took a scientist years to figure out, but she's gonna figure it out in her short lifespan, and she's gonna improve on it somehow. I mean, this.
You know what movie? You know what movie did the girl gearhead thing? I think quite well was Bumblebee. I love that movie. Transformers Bumblebee.
No,
so.
All right, movie, yeah.
I found it's so cute. I also love Bumblebee, so the whole thing was just lovely. But the premise was exactly that. It's okay, you have like this girl. The girl is the main character. They got rid of Sam Witwicky because it's set in the 80s. And it was with her dad that she would do like fixing cars and doing all this stuff and whatever. And we sort of slowly find this out throughout, she helps to kind of repair, I guess, Bumblebee slowly. But you find out about all of this stuff throughout the movie as you go along. And it kind of makes her seem like, oh, well, for being 17 or 16, however old she is, she seems really good at all of this stuff. But she also works in a scrapyard or whatever the heck she works in. So she's around people who know things, right? So, and she has easy access to all of this, all the materials she needs. So I think it was done well without, I mean, of course, it's always the level of Mary Sue in these kind of things because it's probably more fantasy than reality. But it wasn't a patronizing way, right? Because like the problem with a lot of these Mary Sue characters, it feels patronizing. Like, oh, she would never have really done it if it was written realistically.
Yeah. No, actually, that sounds like a decent way to have written a character of her. But and again, it's looking up to a father figure. So I mean,
I know exactly what you mean. It's I don't. You see, the thing is I feel like I'm aging out of the group that the woke flags are for. So to me, I wouldn't have even picked that up. Like you're saying, the first line of the trailer, I wouldn't have even noticed that in the first viewing.
I don't think a lot of people noticed a lot of things while they were watching the trailer because I'm sitting there like, they're literally spelling it out for you, and it's just.
They depend on if you're a fan of a franchise that they're remaking, rebooting, whatever. They depend on your nostalgia blinding you.
Oh yeah, and I think honestly, that's kind of why it's like hitting me a little bit more because I'm a big Ghostbusters fan, and I even like when they were saying like where's the comedy, it's like most of the comedy was just Peter saying sexist shit, like shit you wouldn't be able to get away with having kids play these roles. Like it's just Egon was a stiff, Winston was the straight man, and Ray, I mean, at most he had physical humor, but that was it. And that's the sad thing is even in the 2016 one you could at least get away with it because Melissa McCartney's character and the McGinnis character, they were scientists, they worked in a school, so even though you can still believe that they would have worked up to this point. It didn't make sense when all of a sudden McGinnis's character, has like a ghost trap that, like a bear trap and all this weird shit and, pistol or the fist weapons and shit. Like, come on, that's a bit much, but it's a little bit more believable than a geeky teen figuring out all this shit that I don't know. I'm more interested to understand how they're gonna mind wash all the people again. Egon saved New York twice, and nobody knows about these people. Like it's just like it's absurd that I don't know. Because again, even in the second one, it didn't make sense. The mayor just wiped it under the rug because he wanted to get reelected. It's like, but people saw a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walk down the street.
What did they say in Men in Black? The gas,
swamp gas from a weather balloon refracted off of Venus.
Mars. Yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing too. Even in the first one, Walter Peck tries to say that that's how they do their business, is that they release noxious fumes and it makes people hallucinate thinking they're seeing ghosts, and they go in with a light show. And then even one of the captains was like, what I saw was no light show. And the one guy looking at the map, he's like, the walls of the 51st precinct were bleeding. How do you explain that? Like, that's, yeah. How do these people forget about this shit? And then again, the second one, the Statue of fucking Liberty walked down the street. Like, I'm sorry.
See, this is the charm of the movies of that period, right? And they're wanting to make things so much more dark and realistic in the last like 20 years that it's like you said, it's going to be very hard. Like just lean into the fantasy, but I don't know if they'll do it.
No, they lost their chance when Harold. Well, even saying that, I don't even think they could have made a movie back in the day, just because of all the goofy shit they would have had. You know, tried to add as much CG into it. They would have tried to have, you know, like just think of all the Michael Bay movies. They probably would have tried to emulate that.
Explosions.
Yeah, explosions and titties and all that stuff. You know?
And I say, well, you want the real truth about why all of that stuff happened when it came to, you know, people forgetting that the Ghostbusters saved New York, Adam. It was so the movie could happen.
No, I know that.
That's why.
Yeah, I mean, even in the game, they kind of explain it away, like it was, you know, ho hum. But at least they were still Ghostbusters. You know, they were just under the government thumb. That made sense. The cartoons made sense. Is the
the cartoons, I have my own kind of bone to pick with. It's always fucking oh god, what's his name? The guy that wrote One More Day. J. Michael Straczynski. It's always J. Michael Straczynski, man. He always seems to appear in the worst possible places. Do you know if there's an episode of The Real Ghostbusters where they actually go to Hollywood, the real Ghostbusters go to Hollywood to consult for the Ghostbusters movie?
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. I have the first 3 seasons on hard drive, so I have to watch it.
All I'm saying, man, is that there's this trope that's been going around for a long time of this is the real thing. That old thing is not the real thing. Pay no attention to the old thing. This new thing that we just put out is the real thing. Pay attention to the new thing.
They kind of do that too in I think like the second episode where they show them getting back after fighting Stay Puft, and they're all covered in ectoplasm and all this goo and stuff, and they change. That's how they get their different outfits, and then they have to fight the Ghostbusters. They're the outfits of the old Ghostbusters because spirits took them over or some shit like that. There is some connectivity, but I think that it was also like, I think Dan Aykroyd played a big role in the first couple of seasons. I just know once Dave Coulier took over Peter Venkman's voice, no way.
Wait, Dave Coulier?
Cut it out. Yeah, he was in the later seasons. It was before they changed it to Slimer and the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, when it was still the real Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, Slimer and the real Ghostbusters. And they slowly kept pushing Slimer to the forefront.
Well, he's marketable. He's a mascot character and he's marketable.
That was the other thing. I think it was Nerdemic, or the guy. He goes, "Oh man, and Ghostbusters, it was very marketable." I'm like, the cartoon was. The second movie kind of was. The first movie wasn't aimed at kids.
The first movie was a lightning in the bottle situation. They made a comedy about blue-collar workers who, the exterminator ideal, but they're exterminating ghosts.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise.
That's why again, two more things. I promise I won't talk about Ghostbusters. But one, because they keep saying like, oh, Jason Reitman, he talks about how he wants to do it, and he's going to do it well because he's going to try and, you know, press his dad, do it, you know, blah blah blah, because he was there at the sets and growing up, and I'm sitting there, I'm like I said in the Discord, I'm like, yeah, but the biggest red flag is when he said, I close my eyes, I think Ghostbusters, I think of a little girl holding a proton pack, and it's like,
why?
I think,
why not a little child holding a proton pack?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm fairly certain that a lot of these people are just nostalgia-ized to the point where they're conflating the cartoon and the movies together and their childhood. So I mean, it's, oh man, yeah, because a lot of the comments were that too, like, oh man, when I was a kid, you know, blah blah blah, and it's like, bro, but you remember you were watching a movie about 3 out-of-work scientists who start up a business, and again, early 80s trope of, you know, government trying to push their hand down on private business, and they get caught up in saving New York City from a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow, like from a Babylonian god coming back to take over the world. Like, there's no children there. there's no whimsical fantasy, there's no, you know, mysteries to be solved. It was, I mean, literally at the most, it was Ray and Egon reading Tobin's spirit guide and looking at blueprints. I mean, it wasn't really like, in the second one there was, but the second one was trying to mimic more of the cartoon, you know, because the cartoon is what took it off. But no, but even at that, if I recall correctly, Jason Whitman, and I know it was just a part in the movie, but he was a little kid who was like, you know, my dad says you guys are full of crap.
Yeah.
That's another sign.
No, my only reference for Ghostbusters were the movies, which I saw when I was a kid, and I never saw the cartoon. I never saw a single frame of it. The only other time I ever saw Ghostbusters pop up was a little bit part that Dan Aykroyd did in the Casper movie.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna call? Somebody else.
Oh yeah. That was fun. I remember that. Oh,
I never saw the Casper
that's a
movie.
good movie.
And I still say that they tried to make the ghost at the end of Ghostbusters 2016. They tried to make that giant ghost look like Dan Aykroyd, I swear.
He wasn't selling enough vodka and talking about antifreeze in your spirits, so, you know.
Well, I mean, because it kind of looked like they gave him the dick nose that he had in Nothing But Trouble.
Oh, Nothing But Trouble!
Yeah. But, you know, also they shoot him in the ball sack, you know. I guess, I don't know. It's, again, it's...
Well, they shoot him in the balls because it's empowering to women.
Well, yeah, like I said, that's another woke trope, where the guys have to be goofballs or villains,
and the women have to save everyone.
And again, there's because it's just you can see the rebuttals. I mean, you're already seeing it with He-Man, and now that the She-Man came out, the rumor, I should say, you can already see it. Well, what, you don't like strong black women? You don't think that a strong black woman could be a champion of Eternia? It's like, I don't know what to think anymore.
The champion of Eternia is He-Man because Prince Adam was given the Sword of Power.
You know, I'm honestly sitting here trying to think what the last thing Kevin Smith did that I actually wanted to watch was.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yep.
And then when he went on stage, an evening with Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah,
those were pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Everything after that, no, he's.
Yeah, there was a time when I was watching like him do those like an evening with Kevin Smith, him and Henry Rollins doing his spoken word stuff. Yeah. I went through a phase where I would watch that stuff a lot.
Clerks 2 is okay.
I've been saying this for a long time, is that the Kevin Smith that made fucking He-Man is not the Kevin Smith that made Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy.
So
what happened to him?
Well, two things. Well, three things actually. He started smoking weed with Seth Rogen when he did Zack and Miri Make a Porno. Never smoked weed up to that point.
Oh.
He had a heart attack.
No.
And then after the heart attack, his daughter convinced him to go vegan.
And
Well, I don't blame his daughter here because she was probably terrified that she was going to lose her dad. So he might have fallen into everything around that, but I wouldn't blame her because I'd be the same way. I'd be scared. But
I mean,
I think
it could be scary, but like she convinced him to become a vegan because she was a vegan and she saw an opportunity. Like, hey, you just had a heart attack. You should probably quit eating animals.
Well,
it's like, no, maybe you should do some fucking sit-ups, dude. Maybe you shouldn't eat so goddamn much.
When he went out to Hollywood, and I would say it actually took place around the time he did Cop Out, or even Die Hard 4.
Wait, he did Die Hard? Oh, yeah, he was in the movie. I forgot.
Yeah, he helped write it too.
Yeah, that was a shitty movie.
Hey, man, I thought it was pretty good. I mean,
it was a waste of Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, that's.
It was a fun movie. I saw it, I think, 2 or 3 times in the theater.
The only good Die Hard.
I like explosions.
Yeah,
he killed a helicopter with a car. I mean, it's an excellent movie.
I say that's the meme. Yeah.
No, but it's good, and Justin Long is adorable. I love him to bits.
Oh, I like Justin Long in Waiting, but that was mainly because it was an ensemble of it was
a bunch
such a gross movie.
It's a gross movie, yes, but if you've worked in a restaurant, it's not far off.
Hey, in all fairness, when I was working at Vans, that movie came out, and there was a lot of brain games going on there. Let's just see that.
No, like I went to my job after seeing the movie. I was like, because a bunch of my coworkers were around the same age, go and see movies together and stuff. I was like, anybody pulls their dick out while I'm at work, and I'm just gonna punch you.
Oh, it's bad, dude. We'd climb on the ladder to get shoes from the top, and somebody would walk in the back, and all of a sudden, the customers out front, they would just hear, "Oh God!" I mean, the manager did eventually start yelling at us to knock it off, but contrary to that, when I was working at IHOP, none of that happened. I mean, considering most of the people working with me were women.
Killjoys. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like they could really do much. I mean, I don't.
It's kind of hard to pull the goat when you're working with that set of equipment.
Plus, there's a lot of we had an apron on. We had to wear like dress pants. It was just too much work to get to it. So, but they were pretty. Let's just say, I don't know if it was because I was just laid back at the time, but they certainly were not shy about sharing stories and thoughts. So it was interesting.
Oh, Mr. Yes, he said he has yet to see Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, and Clerks 2.
Oh God, dude, get on it, because those are classics.
Clerks 2 was I could take it or leave it.
Clerks 2
is the one?
Clerks 2 has really good stuff from Randall. Not a whole lot of good stuff from
Randall is the only reason to watch Clerks 2.
Yeah,
and
in my opinion,
be able to pull a Randall off in Clerks 3? Probably not.
Well, here's another thing. Like they started talking about he's doing Clerks 3, right? It's like, yeah, I remember him having a script for Clerks 3 like in 2014, 2015. He posted about it on Facebook. I remember reading about it. He's like, oh, I got the, he had a picture of the script, the title page. So he's been sitting on this bitch for a while. It's not like he's just getting to work on it.
I'm sincerely hoping that he didn't revise it in the meantime.
If I recall correctly, I think it was the guy playing Randall who was hesitant about getting back into it. So I think that was.
Can you blame him?
Not really. I mean, especially after seeing, because I think Randall went off to do like his own directing or producing.
Well, he's taking the turn
Clerks
back,
3.
guys.
Yeah. No.
What is that dude's name anyway? Like I've not seen him in anything else, I don't think.
He did a few like indie movies, nothing too great. The Clerks cartoon.
Jeff Anderson is his name. He plays Randall.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be able to pull it off.
No, it's in pre-production. He's listed on IMDb as Randall.
I wouldn't be surprised if.
Apparently, it's supposed to be Randall's movie too.
Oh God! So he's gonna die.
Oh yeah, the last thing I saw him in was Zack and Miri Make a Porno in 2008. He's done a couple of shorts. He did the Clone Wars.
He was in Clone Wars.
He was
cartoon or the movie.
Cartoon.
Okay.
He played Smug in the episode Wookiee Hunt 2011.
I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Me either. Like I said, Star Wars was only 3 movies for me.
Same.
Hey, do
So
you like the pod racing?
No.
Maybe if I do a twist, that's a good trick.
But yeah, he was the only reason why I ended up watching Clerks 2, because the rest of that movie sucked ass through a paper straw.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, Randall, and especially Randall interacting with the young...
The kid? What's his name? Shit.
Jebediah or something, I can't remember. It was a Christian name or something.
Clerks 2. Well, I was already at his filmography page.
Pillow Pants?
Oh, Pillow Pants?
It's the troll that lives in her vagina.
Damn it, I'm gonna go watch all those clips again.
Elias.
Elias, that was his name, yeah.
Although I'm not seeing... Oh, no, his name is Trevor Furman is the actor. They don't even have a picture for this dude on IMDb.
He probably wasn't in much of anything after Clerks 2. I say, you know who I really feel bad for?
Oh, yeah, actually, you're right. That was the last credit.
Yeah. I say, you know who I really feel bad for in this entire situation? It's fucking Jason Mewes. Because Jason Mewes...
I beat heroin, and this is what I end up with.
Yeah, right? Jason Mewes, man, like, even when he's doing his solo shit, like, he's directed a couple of movies and, like, starred in a couple of other movies outside of interacting with Kevin Smith, and he's still great! He is still great! Everything about Jason Mewes is awesome. It's too bad Kevin Smith had to fall so fucking far.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Kevin Smith, I think he fell out of the loop when he moved to California. He started doing. He did Die Hard and fucking
Tusk and Yoga Hosers.
Well, I think Tusk and Yoga Hosers, he was trying to get back into his like kind of indie style. But I think the taint of Hollywood started corrupting him back then, and then once he had a daughter, it was just full blown.
Yeah.
Because it was then, he just adhered to whatever, and then after the heart attack, of course, yeah, I need the money to flow, so he's gonna do whatever he's told. But again, even with He-Man and Ghostbusters, I think a lot of times it's just the higher ups are pushing it. Just like when Kevin Smith was talking about doing Batman. How they wanted him to add spiders, or how they were gonna do Superman.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was Superman. It was the guy. Oh, what was that dude's name? John what? No, the producer. It was somebody. He had been somebody's hairstylist before he became a producer. I remember him telling the story.
Yeah,
and he wanted Superman to fight a giant spider, and they ended up not doing the movie. And then that producer went on to produce Wild Wild West, where they have a giant mechanical spider.
Yep.
Yeah, I think a lot of times these people are like, maybe Jason Reitman was really trying to make a good Ghostbusters, but whoever's signing the check is like, yeah, okay, but you're not allowed to show the little girl looking up to Egon at all.
Yeah.
She has to be able to carry her own self.
Yeah, producer oversight and producer meddling. Yeah, I would say that is a major problem with a lot of studio movies. That's probably the core of a lot of problems with modern movies.
I would say Young Ripa brought it up perfectly, that a lot of times, especially now since, geek cultures is growing big, that these are vanity projects, like they tried with Ghostbusters 2016, it flopped horribly, so they're like, all right, let's get Jason Reitman to do it, and that way, they're going to follow the same tropes. It's just they got a nice veneer to it, and I think He-Man was a shot across the bow for a lot of people. Like, I wouldn't trust anything coming out of Hollywood right now, man.
Yeah, same.
I don't
These guys are
think
strange.
I don't think it was a shot across the bow. I think it's just another scalp.
No, that's true.
So
Because I mean, that was purely like it's gonna be a continuation, bro. His name was sung in the title. He-Man. Like, how do you? No, but it was about the mask. Nah, they were there.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the Tila show. It's not Prince Adam and He-Man. Adam.
Oh yeah, I said Sheila earlier. I've been thinking about Ramon. So. Tila's a punk.
But no, like the only thing, like I'd never actually heard of Clownfish TV before this. You know,
I used to watch some of their stuff. I really cannot stand watching a lot of YouTube channels nowadays because I get it that they have to say, you know, oh, before you watch the video, make sure you hit like. It's like, bro, if anybody's stumbling upon these videos now, they already know this, okay? Like,
Yeah,
they already know
subscribed.
how to play the YouTube games, yeah. Well, even if they're not subscribed or hit liked or whatever, they know about those functions. Like,
Yeah.
Why waste time? Just get to the fucking content.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're done
I'm kind of
with
with
it.
you on that. And then
Yeah, if you don't, if you stumbled across the Minions of the Zoo and you've not hit like, favorite, and subscribe yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that bell because we're all going to be doing weird hours.
smash that
nowadays.
like button.
Smash
Click that
like
bell.
button.
Get all the notifications.
well, no. What I was gonna say about Clownfish was, like, I had not heard of them before this. I'm probably not gonna watch a ton of their content just because I've already got a bunch of creators that I watch and listen to that suit my taste. I'm not looking for new ones.
I'm not looking for friends. I have 3. That's enough.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just like I mean, on these topics that they're covering,
Am I one of
you
them,
know, like
Sora?
like whether it be like comics or nerd culture, stuff like that. I would go to TUES, or I would go to Jack or Cochran, or a few other people that I've actually interacted with and get their opinion about, like, hey, have you heard about this? Or like a quiz.
Mhm.
I'm gonna sit down sometime this week and catch up on the Flash. I know it's supposed to be just complete shit, but it's like I want to watch the car crash.
Well, I'm probably not going to go back to it. Not after I think it was season 3. That was
#feminism.
That was my right. That was that was an actual line in the fucking
#.
Yes.
It was used multiple times. I think I lost track of like 3 or 4 times. They used it throughout the course of the episode. It's like the Bachelorette episode where they're doing the bachelor party and bachelorette party for Barry and Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like when she's out on her bachelorette party, they're solving a crime as well. And if they're at the club, like, they go to get drinks, like #feminism. It's like, you're getting married.
Was it said? Was it
Yes,
said
it was
by
actually
the?
said.
No. But like the character, was it like someone who was the unwed, unpartnered friend who's like salty because her friend's getting married?
No, it was not used in that context at all. It was used in the context of like, hey, it's my bachelorette party, and we're still out here, trying to solve stop a crime or whatever. #feminism. It's strong women, girl power.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cute. Okay.
No, it wasn't.
That would get a laugh out of me. Like the.
Well,
okay,
I mean,
so,
when I saw it the first one, I was like, oh, so that must be what Quiz and Johnny were talking about. And then, like, I saw it again, I was like, really? And like after the third time they said #feminism, I woke my girlfriend up because she fell asleep
3
on the couch.
times in the episode?
Yes, at least. I stopped counting at 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just in case the people in the back didn't hear.
No,
But like in case you didn't hear us, like loud club music that was playing while we were, in the criminal's den.
See, and if it was done in a classic Looney Tunes trope, would have been everything would have paused and Daffy would have looked at the screen and been like, "Hey, did you get that?"
But yeah, like the third time they said it in that episode, I was like, "Oh fucking hell!" Like I woke my girlfriend up because she's sitting on the couch next to me, just dozed off. Like what, huh? Like, never mind. Don't worry about it.
should have looked at your girlfriend and went #feminism.
I should have, yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna say that after you finish. Yes, I'm his.
See, comparatively speaking, I remember the Arrow episode that aired exactly the same week as that episode of Flash had a joke like that in that episode where they're talking to it was Oliver as mayor, and it was Wild Dog was there with him, and they were talking to the lawyer who's going after Oliver because she thinks that he's Arrow, and
the federal prosecutor.
Yeah. And like Wild Dog can't believe that she's the investigator. And he's all like, well, no, not because you're a woman. I'm a feminist like that. And he just kind of like looks shifty-eyed around. That is done well. I actually kind of laughed at that one. And that was the only time it was brought up in Arrow.
Do you remember the gun control episode that they had?
Yes.
That one I thought was hilarious because Wild Dog's sitting there talking about like his Second Amendment rights and everything. It's like, dude, you're a felon.
Yes.
and you're actively committing crimes by being a vigilante. You're not the guy that should be like the NRA spokesman for this episode.
Well, I like it because he was influencing Oliver, and Oliver was the one that had to come down with the decision, and he was the one that came with the middle of the road decision. You had all the other people sitting there trying to say gun bad, ban gun.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this train wreck because like I got through the first episode. I started watching that after I got my girlfriend started watching Justified. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Hey, go back to Justified. I like that." I was like, "Yeah, of course you would, you hillbilly."
What's Justified?
That is a show based off of a short story by Elmore Leonard called Fire in the Hole. It follows U.S. Marshal Raylan Givens, who's played by Timothy Oliphant.
Oh.
And in the first episode, he's working as a U.S. Marshal in Miami. Very first scene, he shoots a gun thug, as they describe him, a cartel gun thug, on a rooftop restaurant in Miami in front of everybody. Like, he's like, "I told you had 24 hours to get out of town, or I was going to shoot you on sight." And the guy pulls on him, and so he shoots him dead, like 3 shots to the chest.
Awesome.
So they send him back to They send him to the Eastern District of Kentucky, which is where he grew up, and so he's dealing with hillbillies and coal country miner folk in Appalachia. And it's got a really great cast. It was on FX. I want to say mid to late 2000s. It ran like 6 seasons.
God, he's so attractive. Holy shit.
Timothy Oliphant.
Yes. I'm gonna probably watch this.
I've not seen anything. I've not seen anything Timothy Oliphant was in that I didn't end up liking. He's one of those kind of actors. I thought he was funny in Gone in 60 Seconds, even though he had a bit part. He was like the main cop's like partner.
I like The Crazies. That was a good horror movie.
That was all right. I mean, it wasn't terrible.
It was an okay one. I've seen that kind of trope done worse. So. Yeah.
Mm.
But even that movie was I Am Number 4. It's supposed to be like based off of a book series. They never ended up making any more of the movies because it tanked. I don't think it did well enough for them to continue on.
It's like the young adult. It's like the teen.
Yeah, it's like an alien.
Yeah, it's based. Yeah, they're aliens. Yeah, because I think it's like I Am Number 4. I Am Number 5. I don't know. There's like a few books in the series.
that movie had Teresa Palmer in it.
Him as Cobb Vanth in The Mandalorian when he's like, whoo, he turns Silver Daddy. I'm like, oh my god.
But like
he
even
needs
like
to come back for the next season.
even like the Santa Clarita Diet, I actually enjoyed that show. I thought it was kind of funny. I watched the first 2 seasons of it. He was good in that as a pot smoking realtor with a zombie wife.
He strikes me as a working actor, which I really like. You know what I mean? Like they're not necessarily high up superstars or anything, but they're in good, solid shows or movies, and they're constantly working.
Yeah.
You know, an actual actor.
and also like a Justified. It was kind of it felt similar. Like his character felt kind of similar to him in Deadwood. As Sheriff Seth Bullock. Yeah, he's been around for a while, and I've not seen anything he's been in that I didn't end up liking. I think he's got good taste for like picking out projects.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the rest of that cast in Justified also awesome. Walton Goggins, you know, he's in that. He plays a great bad guy. Nick Searcy. He's big on Twitter, actually. He's big on conservative Twitter. He's the chief deputy for he's a Timothy Oliphant's boss.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some great lines in that show too. I think it's hilarious. Like they couldn't even make that show today because like in the first season, like first couple episodes, they made a joke that would get Polly ranting. Quiz.
Yeah.
About was it Hermes, the elf in Santa's workshop that wanted to be a dentist?
Okay.
Make jokes about him being gay.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, he is. He's totally gay.
I mean, Doc Holliday was a dentist. You're not calling him gay.
No.
That dude was a badass. He was a gunslinger.
Of course. But he wasn't.
I feel like since Polly's not here to defend Hermes' honor, like I should go ahead and play devil's advocate.
What's wrong with him being gay?
He's an elf.
No, like the main contention was like Hermes is gay because he wants to go be a dentist. It's like there are plenty of people in dentistry that are not homosexual. Why is that got to make you gay?
No, okay. Again,
it just so happens that he's gay and wants to go into dentistry.
Again, it's not the fact that he wants to be a dentist that makes him gay. It's the fact that he's an elf.
What makes elves inherently gay? I mean, like I've never seen Lord of the Rings, but you tell me all those elves in there were gay too?
Yeah, especially fucking what's her nuts, Man-Chin, Liv Tyler.
Man-Chin?
Yeah.
What?
She totally has a fucking man-chin. She's an ugly woman. I'm sorry.
Liv Tyler?
Yes, I do not find her
She's
attractive.
not. She's pretty.
I do not.
I don't think she's pretty.
I do not find her.
And she was so pretty as Arwen.
But see, here's the thing. She's got those Steven Tyler genes. So I mean, the only thing she's got going for her is like when she gets old, like grandma looking, like she'll end up looking like her dad.
She already kind of does. I do not.
That's how genetics works.
I do not find
nothing wrong with that.
I do not find that woman attractive.
Well, no, I mean like Steven Tyler looks like an old grandma right now.
I thought she was horribly miscast. I do not find her attractive. She should not have been Arwen.
I always just thought it was weird. It's like they had those Aerosmith videos in the early 90s. It was Alicia Silverstone, and then it was like started being like his daughter. It's like, wait a second here.
And they're always doing shit like robbing banks and then like changing clothes. So yeah, it's doubly concerning. Yeah.
Like this is one thing with Alicia Silverstone. Like that's it's an actress, doing her job, what have you, in a rock music video.
I'm perfectly fine with that, yeah, because
sexy looking, whatnot. Okay,
still hot, yeah.
But your daughter, now you've got your daughter doing that, sir. sir. You know?
That's highly weird for you, man. Or at least, because
What was the last thing?
music
Alicia,
videos.
What was the last thing that Alicia Silverstone was in? Was it that shitty Vacation reboot?
1 second. I've got the IMDb over here.
Wasn't she in that Adam Sandler movie? Wasn't that the last one?
51st Dates?
That was Drew Barrymore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She's aged all right. Let's see.
She's still hot.
Oh, she was in Masters of the Universe, bringing it back around.
Oh, great.
She was Queen Marlena. And she's got a couple of things in post-production. She's got one that's filming now.
Is she going to make a Clue reboot? Clueless?
They tried, I thought.
That was...
No, wait. Maybe that was... No, that wasn't. That was Hilary Duff. No, it was Hilary Duff. They were trying to do not a reboot per se, but a continuation of...
I mean, she's been consistently busy.
Whatever that show she was on. I can't remember on Disney Channel, but it fell through.
I mean, she's been busy every year scrolling down. Like, she hasn't missed a project. And well, she took some time off, looks like in 2010.
She had kids, I think, maybe.
Well, like, that's the only year that I scrolled through, like going down to the 90s before, like, 2010. There's nothing there. 98. There's a gap between 97 and 98. Yeah, she's consistently working. Just I had not been watching a ton of stuff lately. Yeah. But actually, I forgot to look this up earlier for Mr. No or Mr. Yes. He keeps screwing with the names.
Mm-hmm.
He asked what Brian. Well, he asked what Dante was up to, and of course he's gonna be in Clerks 3. He's got a few things in post production, and he's been busy. It looks like as well.
That's good.
Yeah. It's like okay, dude. You've been busy. Why are you coming back to the well for a third time with this character? What could Dante possibly be up to now?
Apparently, the story is going to revolve around Randall buying the Quick Stop.
Didn't they buy it at the end of Clerks 2?
Yes, he was like he buying out Dante. Yeah, because they went in on that together. At the end of Clerks 2. Rosario Dawson's back in this as well.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a little over an hour. I think it's about time we close up the zoo. I've been doing a whole bunch of work here, and
oh my god,
what?
The storyline that they have on IMDb: Dante, Elias, Jay, and Silent Bob are enlisted by Randall after a heart attack to make a movie about the convenience store that started it all. So it's going to be a movie within a movie.
A movie about a movie, huh?
Well, at least they're not finding replacements for Dante and Randall and making them, women. So,
yeah.
That's sad. And once I saw that with Jay and Silent Bob reboot, I was like, oh, come on, dude. Like, nobody tells you guys going to fucking do this shit.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will call it a night here. And, yeah, hold on to your precious memories, because that's all you've got. It doesn't seem like anything new coming out is going to be worth it. So, we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thank you all for coming out. Be sure to watch tomorrow where Skep Tock is the host. And, yeah. Take care, everyone.
Buy physical media.
Buy physical media, yes. I wholly endorse that one.
Yep.
Take care, all.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.